coaches and talking to you guys and hearing how excited you are. So it's just something that's been an incredible experience for me so far. So this is awesome. But taking it back to the beginning, just to give you guys kind of like a little about me. If you watched the 20s, then you probably know way more information than you ever needed to know about me, because it probably be around 24 hours a day, along with the other people on the show. But to kind of give you the little play, growing up, I was kind of always into fitness and very fit, but my family wasn't very fit as far as nutrition and things went. So I was kind of almost like outworking my bad nutrition at that point. I was young, I had, high metabolism, and I was always active. So it didn't really matter by that point for me that I was eating like crap along with my family. But my family, on the other hand, they were very sedentary and also had a bad diet. For us as a family, whenever we would try to get healthy and fit together, it would be crash diets. It would be like, my dad going into the gym for 1 million hours a day. And so most of my family kind of went on this roller coaster that most people do go on, just trying to figure out the right way to get fit. And there definitely wasn't, a Beachbody type company out there that's actually trying to get the right information. It's just kind of trying to figure out things by yourself, which I think when you are in this kind of environment, when you have that support group that really understands fitness and nutrition and how important both pieces go together, you start kind of taking that for advantage, as opposed to when you're just starting out and really don't know. So I saw my family make all the wrong mistakes and go down the wrong paths. I was right there along with them. So while I looked healthy on the outside, I definitely wasn't healthy on the inside. So I was doing dance and gymnastics. I got to kind of 14, 15 years old. I was kind of thinking like, okay, gymnastics, I'm getting like very tall and awkward for this. And it wasn't as easy as it once was for me. So I was kind of like, looking for the next step. And that's when I fell into fitness and figure competitions. So I had my first competition at 15. And then I was just kind of like bitten by the fitness competition bug, and was doing 3 to 4 shows a year probably throughout my teens. So that was kind of my thing throughout high school, is fitness and figure competitions. The story with my family really came into play when I was about 16 or 17, and my family was sitting in the audience at one of my shows. And at the time, my dad was 47 years old. He had a 42-inch waist, and I went out and sat with them during one of the intermissions, and I just said, like, Dad, I feel so sorry for you. And he was like, you feel sorry for me? What do you feel sorry for me for? And I was like, you're into working out, you're into this stuff, but you're giving me everything I need to do this, and you're not doing it for yourself. And to me, it wasn't even about his health at that point, because I don't think it even clicked with me that he was unhealthy. But it was more about me wanting him to live his best life and do all the things that he wanted to do. And I just felt like he was just working his life away and not doing those things. So I told him I felt so sorry for him, and that was kind of his trigger moment to be like, okay, I need to get my stuff together and do what I need to do to be healthy. So that's really when we all started on this journey together, which is so important as a family, doing it together. Like, I have so many clients that come in like, well, I'm going to do it, but my husband doesn't want to do it. Or I want my kids to get fit, but I don't really have time for that. And that's not a way to go about this. Like, it has to be everyone together, which is like the hard lesson that my family learned, is it has to all be together. So we started learning about nutrition together, learning about working out properly together. So we weren't spending hours in the gym anymore, but a healthy workout routine instead. Because like I said, my nutrition wasn't any better. At one point when I was doing shows, I let my body fat get so low that I went to fix my ponytail one day while I was working out, and a chunk of my hair came out because I had gotten my body fat down so low for doing competitions. So, when we started learning about nutrition, it was definitely a wake-up call, just as much for me, who had looked fit but was not healthy on the inside, as it was for them who were trying to get healthy on the outside, to learn about nutrition, just as important for each of us. So we went on this journey together, and then we started training people in our garage. We were just trying to help friends and family members just for free. We were helping them learn how we were eating, what we were doing. We were working people out in the garage. And then I went to college, and then I got a desk job. and I came home and I sat at a desk and I was crunching numbers all day. I actually had like 3 different jobs at the time. I was like waking up at 4 a.m. to train. I was going to my first job at the dermatology office. Then I was going to like a small gym where I was kind of like a manager part-time. And then I was coming home and training people in the garage. And then I would do it all over again. But my favorite part was that end of the day period where it was like I was going to that first gym and then I was going home to train people in the garage for free. And my dad was training people. My brother was training people too. And so my dad called me up while I was at work one day and was just like, you know, we might have something here. And if you want to, I found like the perfect space for us. And I think we should go look at a location for a gym. And so I left work that day early and we went to go look at this location. It was just like one of those moments where you're in the right place at the right time and you know you're doing the right thing. So like without much, we threw caution to the wind basically. I signed the lease that day. I basically like emptied out my bank account. We got as much equipment as we could. We painted all weekend, and by that Monday we opened up a gym.
Wow.
And it was just like a big like, oh my God, what did we do? Because we didn't know how to run a gym, obviously. We had, you know, people that were training for free. We didn't have much of a clientele built up as far as people paying by any means. But I think, as you all know, it's about kind of making those personal connections and those personal touches, making people feel welcome, included, safe, you know, when they're starting their fitness journey. And so we just started growing very rapidly, and our little 1,000 square foot facility turned into 2, turned into 4 very quickly. And we just kept growing, and now we've had the gym for about 6 years now. And me, my dad, and my brother are all trainers, and then my mom is our manager basically. So she does all of our Facebooking and social media and marketing and keeps us all organized and sane. So it's like a whole family business now, which is just the coolest part of it all, is I get to go see like my family every single day and hang out with them, even though it's sometimes at the same time. But yeah, so that's like kind of my background with my family. And then in October 2015, which is how long this whole process with Beachbody has been going on, so it's almost been 2 years now, is when I got the call asking if I wanted to be on a reality show. And I was like, a reality? Like, no, I don't want to do a reality show. And I said no. And then he called me a couple days later, and he was like, I really think you would be good. It's for this company called Beachbody. And I was like, I don't really know what Beachbody is, so I don't really want to do it. And so on the third time he called, and it's crazy because actually the first year that we had opened up the gym, Tony Horton actually had came to the gym to film something totally unrelated. It just happened to, somebody called us like, hey, you know, a local production company is in the area. They're filming like this like celebrity trainer. Can we use your gym? New gym, like, yes, come in, like, you know, more promotion, the better. And then in walks Tony Horton as the celebrity trainer. So we spent like the entire day with him. I knew all about him. I remember thinking like, how cool is this guy's job? Like, this is the best job ever. And then I didn't think about it for like 5 years. And so when I was like, I don't know what Beachbody is, it's just weird because I've had plenty of interactions that would tell me what Beachbody was, but I guess it just didn't click. I didn't put the pieces together yet. So he called me a third time and he's like, please, like, you'd be perfect for this. Just submit these videos and we'll see what happens. So I'm like, okay, I'll submit the videos, but I'm not doing a reality show. Months and months go by, and I finally get a call that's like, hey, we need more information about you. We want to do an online interview. We need all this stuff. And I was like, for that thing back in October? Like, what are we even talking about here? What am I doing? I'm actually getting on a reality show? And that's when I was kind of like, well, let me look at this Beachbody thing, and looked it up. And of course, the first picture that pops up that I see is of Tony Horton and P90X. And I was like, oh, Beachbody. So, yeah, completely crazy. Like, I can't imagine if I would have said no to that opportunity. Like, sometimes it's just about taking the chance on something that makes you totally uncomfortable, because I'm kind of a shy, quiet person usually. So it was definitely so far out of my comfort zone and so far away from like what I would consider myself doing, like, comfortable in doing, that I just didn't want to do it. And finally I was like, okay, like this is huge. Like this opportunity I have to take, I have to just go for it and see what happens. So that's when I started getting serious about it. And by February, they had called me to say, well, you're coming out to LA. Be prepared to either be out here for 2 days or 2 months. We're going to do a final interview in person, and we'll see what happens, basically. My mom thought I was getting kidnapped and was freaking out. And I went out to LA, and she was like, yeah, they're just like, I don't know. I should know. But yeah, we went out to LA. They brought 20 people out, trainers from all across the country. They narrowed it down to 11 people, and then 11 people moved into the house, and that's where the 20 starts, is us moving into the house. Took away cell phones, took away, internet. We didn't have any internet, no music, no television. So like zero connection to the outside world. We were only allowed to leave the house once a week to go food shopping, basically. And it was quite the most ridiculous experience, amazing experience. And it was just like all these different challenges and things that were so far out of my comfort zone, but it was just like kind of taking a deep breath and being like, okay, I'll give it all my energy, all my focus. I'll just do my best and see what happens. And I can't imagine if I didn't go to that show. Like if I said no that third time.
That's so crazy. It's so funny because that's kind of like how we feel as coaches, right? Like we took this leap of faith into this business and we had those same feelings that you felt, like, oh my gosh, like, am I really going to do this? And I'm kind of scared, and you just do it anyway. So it's really cool. So that's awesome. And I've always wondered what it was like to be what it would be like to be on a reality TV show, because I watched them. I didn't really watch the 20s too much, but just what's it like living with the same people day in and day out? Like, tell me like a little bit about like the inside stuff.
It was really interesting because, so for the most part, it's just like these big cameras following you around all day. Like you're waking up in the morning and you just hear this like little whir in the room, like whir, and you're like, you just know that there's like your face and you haven't even woken up yet. And you like open up your eyes and they just are like right here while you're brushing your teeth and getting ready. And I'm like, just 5 minutes. But it was so cool because everybody in the house was amazing, super nice. We actually thought it was going to kind of be a boring show because it's, 11 people that are just positive people. All we do is work out and sleep and eat, basically. So and repeat. But they took all the challenges and everything, like made it like really interesting. Everybody's stories and things like that are really what made the show what it was. So it ended up being really cool. And you're wearing all the necklaces on the show, if you see, we're all wearing the same necklace. It's our microphone. Awesome. So you're wearing that 24/7. Unless you're in the shower, you have that microphone on. So unless you're in some body of water, you have that microphone on. They're always listening to you. They're always watching you. And it's intense, but you get used to it fast at the same time. And you start talking about things that you're like, why am I talking about this on camera? Like, you wonder when you're watching regular reality shows, like, how do they even do it? Like, why is this coming out of their mouth on like national television? And then just get comfortable, things come out. Like, why did I say that?
That's so crazy. That's awesome though. So now tell me how, it went down to 11 and then it went down to 3. And then, you found out that you won. How'd that feel, like that whole process?
So, like I said, we went out in February and we filmed for 2 months. So until pretty much all of March and into April, we were filming. And then we got home and we weren't allowed to talk about it because they haven't even announced the 20s. I think Carl had kind of like made a small announcement either at Summit or another event. But other than that, they hadn't really talked about the 20s. So we weren't allowed to talk about it, but they did film 3 different endings on the show. So they waited until the last minute to tell us that they were going to do this. They walked into the room. They had narrowed it down to me and the other there was top 3 of us. So they narrow it down and then they come into the room like, so you're all going to film different endings. We're not actually announcing a winner. And we were like, what? And so we didn't know who won until you guys knew who won. We had to wait until August to even talk about the show. And then we had to wait until October when that final episode aired and Carl called each of us, and right before the episode aired, and you know, my phone call, he was like, okay, like, we're choosing you, and my family was all there and stuff, and we're all so excited.
That's
I
so
don't
exciting.
do anything, I just hid my face.
That's such an awesome moment though, but congratulations. We're super excited to have you. You seem like you have such a big heart, and that's what Beachbody is. Like, we just really do have a big heart as a company, so I bet you'll fit right in with us. So tell us, like, we are so excited to hear more about Clean Week. We love on our team, I know other teams, we love the free challenge group, right? Like the one where you get people in, they eat clean for a week. We do these 5-day clean eating challenges or 7-day clean eating challenges. So this is kind of something that is that foot in the door for people, and we are so excited about it. Like, when we heard about all the new programs at Summit, we're like, this one is what we're the most excited about. Like, it's so exciting. So tell us a little bit about it.
So Carl had this idea for a long time, but his concern was he wanted it to kind of be an introduction into Beachbody. So his concern was, if one of the current trainers does this program, then it's going to be kind of like the people who do the week-long program are probably only going to do that program. So he wanted kind of a new face in order to introduce people into Beachbody. So he had this idea in the back of his head, and then I came in kind of like, you know, if I really went back to why I got into fitness, it's because I wanted to get other people motivated to do it and to influence other people to do it too. So I really wanted that to kind of be included in what my first program was all about. And so through that discussion, it was like, well, I have this idea, and that's really not like the week-long program and everything. It was kind of a new concept at that point, and I was just like, this isn't what I had in my head, like, what? The more we started talking about it, the more we started kind of formulating all the different things that went into it. And it happened fast, because once they announced me as the winner, it was like, well, now people have been watching you for, you know, months, and we got to get this program out. We got to get rolling with this. So, you know, most programs take anywhere from 6 months at least to make. We did this in last February. So I went out, we made the workouts, we practiced the workouts, we did a test group, we filmed everything within February. So it was moving super fast, but and that's kind of like my time to shine, is when the pressure's on and like ideas just start flowing. Like, if I have too much time, it's almost like a crutch for me. So I kind of liked that it was like go time at that point. But yeah, it just kept coming out. Like, one of the huge things about Clean Week is that it is an introduction. We talk about all the different workouts, all the different programs that Beachbody has to offer throughout all the workouts in Clean Week. So, you know, it's just a different move that I'm doing, that I'm just like, hey, this is a move you'll also see in 21 Day Fix. It's going to help you remove bad habits in 21 days. This is a move from Body Beast, and if you really like weight training, then, you know, Body Beast is the workout for you. And that way, by the end of the 7 days, they kind of have already heard all the different products. They kind of know, you know, oh, that one sounded really cool to me. And of course, the coaches are going to be the people that also help, you know, bring them along that journey into choosing the next program for them. On top of that, there's a 7-day Shakeology sampler pack that comes with it. So they're also being introduced into that. And you're also going to get the meal plan and kind of like a startup guide for it. And so, yeah, they're really introducing to the entire world of Beachbody with this program, which I think is really cool.
Yeah, I absolutely love that you guys talk about the other programs in it, and I think you've been mentioned Shakeology a couple times, you know, so that's so cool. I love that. So then there's 4 workouts, is that right?
Yes, 4 workouts: a strength workout, cardio workout. There's one called core function, which is not necessarily like an abs workout. It's more of a full body weight routine, that we're talking a lot about how your core is engaging through each move. So I think that's actually the first workout that they're going to do. So it is just body weight, so they can kind of get their body moving. But like I said, we're also talking about how their core is engaging, their posture during each move. So that way they can start thinking about all these things and thinking about how to protect themselves as they're working out, which is so important for somebody just starting out on their fitness journey. Yeah. And then the workout is kind of like a flexibility recovery workout. But I'm not a yogi, and honestly, there's yoga programs available that are awesome on bot already. So my workout is more of a activation of muscle groups they might not always use, stretching and kind of taking our time through certain moves, talking a lot about form on squats and lunges as we're going, but moving slower. So it's just kind of a slower recovery day.
Okay, awesome. And what I've seen, like I watched the preview of the workouts and it seemed it is beginner, right? Or could it be for someone who is at a higher fitness level, maybe they got off track and then they're coming back to fitness?
So that was another cool thing is that, Carl and I were talking about this program. We still want it to be a significant workout. We didn't want people coming into this workout thinking like, oh, I'm starting off with like the baby program or something like that. So it is a significant workout. And then on top of that, we have the intensifier instead of the modifier. So there is no modifier for clean week. There is a base move that's highly accessible for people to get into and to work at their own level in. And then there's the intensifier who's just over there killing it. What happened was, just like in any of my classes that I have at my gym, people don't want to do the modification for anything. They think that they're losing something out of their workout instead of working around maybe an injury or building themselves up. They think they're doing something negative. So it has this bad connotation. And so when we first made the workouts, Beachbody brought in a group of employees, and we start doing the workout and nobody's doing the modification, which that was the part that made clean week for beginners, was this modification. So by the end of the workout, people are dropping like flies. They're telling me that it's like insanity, it's too hard. And I'm like, oh man. So we kind of tweaked a couple of things. We did it again. Same thing happened. Nobody wants to do the modifier. So then I was like, we take the modifier out. Like there's no other option. And so after we took the modifier out and we had an intensifier, the group wanted to kind of stay with the group. They would try the intensifier and maybe even come back to the base move. And at the end, they were like, I feel like I got a good workout. I don't feel like I'm going to be sore for the next week where I can't move. I don't feel like my joints hurt, but I still feel like I got a good sweat on and got a significant workout in. So I think that's what's going to make people feel really good about clean week. And then if somebody like a coach who has been doing the insanities and the body beasts and the shift stuff like that, if they want to do the clean week too, they can definitely follow the intensifier and get a killer workout in. My poor intensifier is an awesome dancer. He's awesome at cardio. And he was like, this is no joke. So cool. People of all ranges are going to be able to get a killer workout with this program.
That's very cool. I love that. I like that. There's no modifier because it's kind of been something that Beachbody always does, but I like that whole concept of, yeah, that's cool. All right. So do you mind if we get to some questions and then, awesome. So we just had a few questions, not too much. But we had someone ask something about the meal plan, and they were wondering if you're using the 21-day fixed portion containers that we've kind of been using.
There's no containers. Basically, there's tons of options though. There's 7 different options for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So 21 meals altogether, but it is about meal prepping for the week. So you're going to want to have the meal prep on, whatever day is comfortable for them. And they're super simple recipes, which is something I always teach to my clients. Because for me, a beginner getting into the kitchen, making something complicated is just not going to happen. So they pick and choose a couple different recipes that they think they're going to like. They meal prep for the entire week with those recipes, and then they're packaged, they're ready, they're set and good to go for the week, so they're not kind of picking other things up too. And then also there's vegan, vegetarian options, gluten-free options, so there's literally something for everyone in that meal plan.
I love that. I love the whole simple thing because I am not even a beginner and I still don't like cooking the crazy. I'm a lazy cook, right? Like I just like the simple stuff. So that's awesome.
I'm so guilty of just like cooking a plain piece of like grilled chicken and like my half potato and my asparagus. So I cook simple, and then also I want to make sure it's cost effective because if we have a situation where we're like, okay, it's only $29.95, but now go and buy all the meal plan stuff and you're another $200 in food, that's not going to be a good situation. So instead it's all even the simplicity is for that factor of just them not going out and spending a ton of money on their meal plan. And I didn't want to have like some sort of spice that we use in one meal and we don't use ever again. So there's not a lot of that kind of stuff. So it also keeps it really cost effective.
Awesome. Love that. Great. All right. Another question was, can you do multiple rounds of clean week? You know how you'll do multiple rounds of Sean week, or there's other week programs. Is this one that you suggest only doing 1 week, or would you suggest people doing it again?
I would say it's really up to probably the coach talking to that person and kind of feeling them out for what they're ready for. But week is definitely made for them to move on into another program and to kind of integrate themselves into the world of Beachbody. It's made so that they can see what all is offered and dive into it. So I would say that the goal is to get them into Beachbody On Demand, is to get them into Shakeology. I think with some of these other week-long programs coming out, like Sean Week or Sagi's one that's coming out, those are more to get people really excited about Beachbody. It's people that are already here that want to see their favorite trainer again. So, so yeah, those are more for the people that are already in Beachbody. Clean Week is more about bringing new people in and showing them what Beachbody has to offer. So it's more of an acquisition tool for the coaches.
I love that. I love that. Because I feel like we can reach so many more people, you know, that haven't really done a program because they're too afraid. Like they're scared of seeing these crazy programs like Asylum and Insanity and Body Beast and Hammer and Chisel. You know, it's just too much. So I think that we'll be able to reach so many more people. So it's so exciting.
It's in front of the paywall. We're still working out the details as far as how you're going to actually access the workouts. So we don't have the details quite in place yet, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be kind of a login to BOD, and then they're only going to have access to Clean Week. They're going to get their meal plan in the mail along with their Shakeology package, and yeah, so it should be pretty simple like that, but it's in front of the paywall, so it's going to take away that kind of financial fear from it, because people are like, oh, who is this person contacting me online that wants my credit card information? Take away that fear factor from it. They'll take away the insecurities that people feel about starting their first workout program. Like you said, oh, Body Beast is too much for me. So this is a program that they're going to be able to get started. And you know, there's so many walls that people have built up about starting a workout program, because there's so many companies out there not trying to give people the right thing. So of course they're going to have their walls built up, and this is kind of a way to introduce them. This is legitimate. This is real. We're really here to help you and guide you through this.
Right.
So it should be good. Very
cool. Awesome. And actually, that's funny. That was my next question, is how is it going to be, you know, in the system before the Beachbody On Demand pay comes up? But if it's before the paywall, that's awesome. Very cool. So, all right. This question is kind of off topic, but I think this is kind of cool for us coaches, and maybe for you, who you're obviously busy, you do a lot of stuff, but what's your biggest tip for time management? Because we all suffer with that, like time management as coaches. I know you live a busy life, so I'd love to hear what your biggest tip is.
My biggest tip is probably getting up early in the morning, because for me, if once I don't, the rest of the day is shot. So, you know, we all want to say that we don't have any time, but then there's that time that we're sitting in front of the TV, and then there's the time where we're, you know, watching YouTube videos that have nothing to do with anything. Kind of fun, you know. So it's definitely, it's kind of, I'm sure you all heard the concept of like eat that frog, like getting up in the morning and doing those like 3 things that you have to do, get them out of your way in the beginning of your day. Like that's the thing that I probably follow the most.
Awesome. Yeah, we know that book. I don't know if you've heard of it, the Miracle Morning book. Kind of teaches you how to wake up. Like we love that book, so we're all about that. And then I watched a YouTube video of yours that was something about a 30-second rule, which is very similar to a 5-second rule, which is a book that we read called the 5-second rule. And could you explain a little bit, 30-second rule, like to conquer your fears and just do it, right?
So the 30-second rule actually came from somebody who's fighting cancer, somebody that I know, and he walked up to a gym. He lives in Canada. He walked up to a gym every single day for God knows how long, and he got up to the door and he put his hand on that door because he knew he was fighting cancer. He knew he needed to get healthier if he was going to fight it. And he put his hand on the doors. Like the first step was just park in the parking lot, and he left. Second step was getting out of his car, and he left. Third step, he walked up the stairs and he left. He put his hand on the door and he left. And then one day he was just like, okay, I'm going to take 30 seconds and I'm just going to decide this. And he opened up the door. And then it's like, you know, now I have to go. Now I have to go talk to somebody because I opened up the door and they saw my face. And now I have to make this decision. So he talked about like this 30 seconds of just having that brave moment where you just go for it. And in my life, I've made a lot of decisions like that, and it's not 100% always, you know, going to work out. But if you have that good feeling about this is where I need to be and this is what I need to do, you know that it's just taking a chance on something that could be great. Take that 30 seconds, be brave, take that step forward and just see what happens. Because the worst that happens is we fail. But when we fail, we just get back up, we keep on going. It's not the end of the world if we fail.
Right. And just like you said, like what would have happened had you not said yes to that callback, or, you know, what would have happened if we had not said, yes, I'll become a coach, you know? So that's really cool. Thank you for sharing that. All right, let's see. Do we have other ones here? Oh, we just had a question. I don't know if you even know any of this stuff, but we have a lot of Canadian coaches on our team, and they have sample packs, and it's $30. I don't know how much it is Canadian, but the shipping is $20 for Canadians. And I don't know if you know of anything that with that sample pack, will that be any different? I don't know, even if you know that question.
Not sure. I've been seeing those comments on Facebook, so I've been trying to like message them and I see what the deal is going to be there, because that kind of
it kind of outweighs the, you know, I don't know, it's $30 for that, and then $20 for the shipping. I don't know, it's a little different than here in the US. So yeah, cool. All right, so is there anything else? Anybody else have any questions? Let me see if there's anything in the chat really quick here. Let me see. No, everybody's quiet. They're all taking it all in. All right. Oh, here, I have a fun question. So you said, like, with the Clean Week leading into another program, have you ever done, you said you weren't familiar with Beachbody, but have you done other Beachbody programs? Like, what would you lead into, you know, following this?
So the cool thing is the only thing we had in the house for 8 weeks while we were doing the show was Beachbody on Demand. So besides just hanging out with each other, we had Beachbody on Demand. So it was a little bit before Quarter Force came out, but I've tried Quarter Force. I've done the Ship Shop workouts now. So yeah, I've done literally everything.
That's awesome.
Beachbody on Demand. So I mean, I would just recommend getting to know the person that's going to be taking the step forward, because they really have to be the one that's excited about what they're doing. If you know, okay, well, 21 Day Fix is a really good program to kind of jumpstart people into, you know, fixing some bad habits that they have and things like that. But if they're not into those kind of workouts, if it's somebody who like grew up weight training and they were into that and they just have fallen off the wagon, then maybe you want to bring them into Body Beast instead, because that will be more interesting for them. So I don't think there's really necessarily a right answer. It's just getting to know what that person loves to do.
Okay, awesome. What would you do? What would your favorite program be after this?
So when I was in the house, I was doing a lot of Body Beast and a lot of Insanity Asylum.
The tough ones.
When I first got in the house, none of us had any experience with Beachbody. So when I got into the house, they were like, you're going to make 2 20-minute workouts for the show, which is another thing on Beachbody on Demand. There's my 2 workouts from the 20s, so you can check those out. And so when they told me I was going to make 2 workouts, I was like, I want to do something like athletic with ladders. And they were like, we have Asylum. Covered. I was like, oh, darn. But that would be like totally up my alley. And then Body Beast, that's probably my main mode of training, is just heavy weight training. So that was
after my own heart. I love the weights too. And I did Asylum. I think that was probably the toughest program I've ever done. Like, drop down on the floor when you're done and you almost cry because you completed it, right? You're like, holy cow, crazy. But
after in that house, I was like, I got home from the show and I was like, maybe I need to go on stage right now. Like, I'm show ready all of a sudden. I was just nothing but eating right, because I was like, Carl's probably looking at all my receipts for eating for 8 weeks, and we were working out probably like 2 2 times a day because we had nothing else to do half the time.
Wow, that's so awesome. That's great. Awesome. Well, I really appreciate you taking the time. We're going on 40 minutes here, so I don't want to take up too much more time, but thank you so much, and congratulations to you. You have so much even more exciting things coming your way, and I know you're gonna be awesome. How do we follow you? Like, is there, I know I'm on your Facebook page, I friend requested you, but is there other pages that you have that we can kind of follow you along?
So I don't think I have any more friends on Facebook.
Yeah.
So you can definitely check out my fitness page, which is Megan Davies Fitness on Facebook, and then also on Instagram at Megan Davies Fitness. So same thing. So yeah, just follow me there. I'm going to be posting. I'm going to start posting a lot of things geared towards beginners, so things that are going to be able to kind of be supplements to what you guys are doing during Clean Week, how to do proper form and things for the different moves and all that good stuff. Probably doing a lot of live things so people can interact and ask questions about their form. So yeah, definitely follow those pages and you'll see a lot of that stuff.
Awesome, great. And I think the date changed, like we were gonna be released in September, and is it October 4th or something now?
Now it's October 3rd. So they are still, like I said, they're trying to get together that, like, how we're actually going to access the workouts and how it's going to be in front of the paywall. So all that tech kind of stuff is figuring right now.
Awesome. Well, it gives us time to talk to people about it and get people into our groups. And then, you know, like you recommended, doing the prep week, probably the first week it comes out or that first weekend, and then starting fresh, maybe the Monday after. So yeah, awesome. Well, we're super excited.
Actually,
oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, they're planning a kind of a week where everybody kind of does it together, like Sean Week, like. So there's definitely going to be like a first week of like just a big Clean Week group. So it'll be cool.
Great. Awesome. Well, thank you so much again. And Heather, I have to point Heather out because she was the one that first messaged you. Wave, Heather. Come on.
Heather, hi.
She had the guts to go out and message you. Actually, it was her friend Sandra. She's also on our team, who said, Heather, go message her, because before everybody gets at her, like you're going to have calls like
and feel free to anytime, guys, like on my fitness, like message away.
Awesome. Well, you're super sweet, and we're so blessed to have you on our call, you know, this soon. So thank you so much. You guys, the recording will be up soon. I will post it to the page so you guys can send it to your coaches. But thanks again. Have a great night, and God bless. Really, thank you. All right, take care, everyone. Have a great night. Bye, everyone.
Good night.